Welcome back to Goodnight Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you another story. And I've got a book about somebody new, somebody you might know. Have you ever heard of Splat the Cat? This is Splat the Cat, and this book is called Splat the Cat and the Duck with No Quack. How can a duck not have a quack? Splat the Cat and the Duck with No Quack. This is an interesting book. I wonder why the duck has no quack. I wonder what Splat the Cat's going to do about it. There is so much for us to figure out. We need to get into this book and find out what's going on with this duck. Are you ready to get inside this Splat the Cat book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up, because here we go. Splat the Cat and the Duck with No Quack. Written by Scotton. Splat's bike went clickety-clack as he rode along a bumpy track to cat school. Suddenly the wheel of the bike got stuck in a crack. Oh no, there goes Splat. With a whack and a smack, Splat tumbled onto the track. Splat found himself nose to beak with a funny duck. The funny duck had a little book. The duck gave Splat a funny look. "How odd," said Splat. This duck was strangely quiet. "A duck quacking and quacking?" said Splat. "That's not right." Splat's trying to figure out why the duck won't quack. "Don't worry, duck," said Splat. "You must be lost. I'll take you back to the pond. I will help you get your quack back." Well, that's nice of Splat. Splat picked up the duck with the little book and put both in his backpack. "Take care in there," said Splat, "and don't sit on my fish stick snack." He put him in the backpack to keep him safe. Splat put his backpack back on, got on his bike, and set off again along the bumpy track toward the pond. Splat's bike went clickety-clickety-clack, clack, clack. Splat stopped by the pond and opened his backpack. Duck popped out, looked about, then popped back in again. "Maybe Duck isn't lost," Splat said. "Mrs. Wimple-Dimple will know what to do." And Splat wobbled his way back on the track to cat school. The duck didn't want to get into the pond. Splat's going to take him to school and see what his teacher thinks. When Splat got to school, he parked his bike in the bike rack shack and dropped his backpack on the bumpy track. Duck looked out from the crack in Splat's backpack. Duck saw Spike's silly grin and had a panic attack. Duck jumped out of Splat's backpack. "Duck! Duck!" yelled Splat. Where?" yelled Plank, looking blank. "Too late!" Splurf! Oh no, they bumped into each other. The duck with the little book sat on Plank's head. "No quack," said Splat. "No quack?" asked Spike. "No quack?" asked Plank. "No quack," said Splat. All the cats are trying to figure out why the duck has no quack. "A duck quacking and quack," said Spike and Plank. "That's not right." "Maybe Duck is hungry," said Spike. Spike took the fish stick snack from Splat's backpack and gave it to Duck. But Duck didn't bite. So Spike ate the fish stick snack himself. Oh no! "Maybe Duck is sad and needs to be cheered up," said Plank. Plank made a funny face. Duck didn't laugh. Duck didn't even grin. Plank's funny face stayed stuck. Poor Plank. I know, said Kitten. "Duck needs a bow with a little pink dress to match. That will bring Duck's quack back." But the bow and the dress were not a success. Duck's beak stayed firmly closed. "Mrs. Wimple-Dimple will know what to do," said Splat. He still thinks the teacher will know what to do. Mrs. Wimple-Dimple looked at the duck. "A duck quacking and quacking?" she asked. "How very odd. But the answer must be simple," said Mrs. Wimpy-Dimple. "I will examine this duck with a little book," said Mrs. Wimpy-Dimple. She played some music to test Duck's ears. Duck danced a merry duck dance. Duck's hearing is all right. Maybe the problem is Duck's eyesight, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Mrs. Wimpy Dimple pointed to a chart. Duck just looked blank. She looked closely at Duck. I see, she said. But I don't think Duck does. I think Mrs. Wimpy Dimple came up with the solution. Mrs. Wimpy Dimple put her glasses on Duck's beak. Duck blinked. Duck opened the book and started to read out loud. As he read, Duck began to quack. Quack, 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 followed by a quack, quack, quack. Hooray for Duck, cheered the helpful cats. Quack, 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 quack. Duck's quack was back, and that was that. Duck got his quack back. Quack, quack, quack. Duck couldn't quack because he couldn't see. And Splat found him and he was very worried. And he did all kinds of things to try and help him. But then he took him to the school and he asked his teacher. And his teacher knew just what to do. She put glasses on him. He could read his book and he could quack again. Because he just didn't know what words to say because he couldn't read his book. Quack, 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 quack. But now he can. He just needed glasses. Like Miss Dorothy and like some of you, glasses are very cool. They help us see better if our eyes aren't working right. And I'm glad that Splat figured out that was the problem with the duck and he got his quack back. You know, Splat was a really good friend and he didn't even know who the duck was. It's so nice when I see somebody be kind to somebody else like Splat was with the duck. I hope that you're kind like that when you meet somebody. And if you have a friend who has a problem, you can try to help them. And the best way to help them is to ask a grown-up what to do. If you don't know what to do, you ask your mom, you ask your dad, you ask your teacher, grandma, grandpa. Find a grown-up that can help you and ask your questions. Because just like the teacher in this book, they probably will have the answers. But not tonight. Because tonight, it's time for all my little cats to get into bed. I need you to get under your covers, get cuddled up, curled up, ready for a really good night's sleep. And tomorrow, when you're out quacking around with your friends, obey and obey right away. And come back and see Miss Dorothy. I'm going to be sitting right here, ready to read another book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.